Good morning, friends. Miss you all. Joanny says, que me ve grande. I'm glad I look big. All right. Good morning, friends. I'm so happy everybody's here. Miss Aponte is here with us, and we've got a lot of our friends from Group C and Group D. If you don't have something yet, you're going to want something to write with, something to write on. It doesn't matter what it is, but something to write with. I see Raul showing me his. He's got it. Julian's got hers. Nadine, whoa, that's a crazy pen. Love it. All right. So friends, we're going to get started today. We have 2 learning targets. We get to spend a little time together, which I love because I know me and Miss Aponte talk about you guys a lot. We miss you. A lot. So much. Actually, this morning what I was doing is my husband found a little birdie outside and he couldn't fly. And so he was worried about him. So we put him in a box and we put him in our living room. And he's up in the living room right now. We gave him some water and some bird seed and we're trying to get him better so we can put him back outside. So I'll let you guys know if he gets better. He's so cute and yellow and I named him Willie. And I hope he gets better soon. That's what I've been doing this morning. But I wish we were at school. Okay, darlings. Remember, you can mute and unmute yourself by touching the little microphone button at the bottom of your screen. But for most of the lesson, you're going to leave yourself on mute, except when me and Miss Aponte ask a question, then you unmute, okay, to chat. You can also go to the bottom of your screen and click this chat bubble and text the group. What we really want to do, though, is only be texting now or chatting about math stuff, okay? And then at the end, we can do fun stuff, okay? But for now, we're only messaging about math. All right. And expectations. Who can remind us what are some expectations when we're in a Zoom call? Like, how do we sit? What do we do?
Julian, do you want to say something? You had your hand up. Don't be shy.
You're doing it all right now. So how should we be sitting? Where should we be sitting? Got an idea?
We should be sitting in a quiet place.
Great idea. Great idea. If you can, be sitting in a quiet place so we don't hear all the background noise. Any other ideas? Gabby?
I think we should be sitting quietly on a bench or a chair in a room where there's nobody or nobody else is.
All right, good idea. So somewhere, maybe a chair, a bench, a couch. Yep. Somewhere we can sit for a little bit. And maybe one more idea. Who's got one more idea? Go ahead, Juliana.
To not be jumping and flipping around in the background.
Love it. We love your dances, and we do dances or fun stuff like that on Fridays for our Fun Friday Zoom call, but we're acting like this is math class. So in math class, we wouldn't be dancing or flipping around in the background. We'd be doing our best, okay? So that's what we want to see on the Zoom call, which I am seeing everybody right now, and it looks like Julianne was trying to find a better spot to sit, which is a good idea. So people look ready. Thumbs up if you're ready. Oh, welcome. Jaquan's here too. All right, welcome everybody. We're gonna start with our first learning target. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. It says, I can prove that a number is even or odd. In Spanish it says, yo puedo demostrar que un número es par o impar. I want the action word here. Can you type it in the chat box? What's the action? What are we doing today? I can prove that a number is even or odd. And in Spanish, yo puedo demostrar que un número es par o impar. See if you can type the action word. What are we doing? Are we adding? Are we drawing? Are we subtracting? Go to the chat box and type. I see Juliana, Amanda, Joannis, and Emily's all agree that we are proving. We are going to prove. Who knows which word is prove in Spanish? Yo puedo demostrar que un número es par o impar. Wow, I had a lot of people agree that the word was prove. Thank you so much for my friends. What about in Spanish? What's the word prove? If somebody knows it, you can unmute yourself and say it.
Probar.
I can't unmute you.
In Amanda, we can say probar. The word probar is not in here right now in this one, but we can say probar. Go ahead, Juliana, say it again.
Demostrar.
Demostrar. And like Amanda said, we could also say probar. That's just not the word that's in there, but that's a word that means something that's about the same. So nice job. We're gonna prove that a number is even or odd. What does it mean to prove something? Are you just gonna say, yep, it's even, because my mom told me so?
That's funny.
How are you gonna prove? Oh, gracias, Joannis. Joannis dijo demostrar. How are you gonna prove something? What does that mean? Can somebody raise their hand? Maybe Miss Aponte will choose. How can we prove?
Amanda?
For example, we can prove by solving it, and if it's right, then,
Okay, maybe we solve and we check. Okay. Any other idea how we could prove something? Anybody else want to give us an idea? Juliana typed we can prove by showing or telling or solving. Yeah, so we can't just say it's even because I like even numbers. We have to have a reason, and we have to really show, solve, or tell somebody how we know it's true. So we got to talk about first what even and odd numbers are, which we talked about a little bit last time. Who can remember what is an even number? What's an even number? Somebody want to raise their hand and Miss Aponte will call? What's an even number?
Juliana?
An even number is when there's no leftovers.
Okay, so no leftovers. No leftovers after what? She's right. There's no leftovers, but after what?
After we split them.
After we split them into?
Pairs.
After we split them into groups of 2. So after we split them by 2, or by putting in pairs, or by splitting into 2 groups. Go ahead, Gabby.
Even number is when when the number is the same number.
Oh, somebody's sharing their picture, Nadine. Can you stop sharing? Thank you.
Even number is when the number is even with another number that's even.
Okay, so that means we have 2 groups. And what about those 2 groups, Gabby?
They would be like, for example, if we had 3 and 3, that's an even number.
Okay, because 3 and 3, those 2 groups have the same amount, 3 and 3. So which is the even number?
Both of them.
The number 3 is not even, but if we make 2 groups of 3, what number do we have now?
6.
And the number 6 is even. Okay. My friends, the chat box, we're just going to talk about math right now, okay? Carlos, if you need something, go find a new spot or go get a napkin, okay? So an even number means there's no leftovers after we split them up into 2 different groups or after we split them into groups of 2. So then what's an odd number? What happens when we split up an odd number?
Gabby?
Go ahead.
An odd number is when the number's not equal, like 10 and 9.
Okay, so Gabby's talking about when we break it into 2 groups. So if we make 2 groups and the groups
Aren't equal.
are not equal. The groups are not
Odd
equal.
number.
Or there's like 1 left over. So
Like,
we're going to look a little bit more at what even numbers and odd numbers are. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Juliana, for helping us. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So friends, when I share my screen, please don't write anything on it, okay? Because that makes it confusing for everybody else to see. So I'm going to share my screen, and then you're going to type in the chat, and I'll fill in the numbers for you. So here's all the numbers on the chart. I want you to tell me an example of an even number, and I'll color it in. Okay, I colored in 2. That's an example of an even number. Go ahead and type in the chat. And then Ms. Aponte, if actually, maybe I can figure out how to see the chat. But right now I can't see it, so I might need you to.
I could see it.
Might need you to read it to me.
4.
Okay. Just type in any even number you see on the chart right now.
So if you see that someone already has the same number, type in a different one, okay? I will just write one answer, honey. So 6, 2, 12, 8, 20.
All right, I want a few more. If you answered once, you can answer again now.
58.
58.
44.
10,
Thank you.
22, 32,
48. 60.
I'd like everybody to try and give
52.
one or two more, okay?
24.
46.
26.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of my friends, a lot of the same friends type in the answers. I would like to see other people try.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from everybody. I want at least 2 answers from everybody. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Lorraine. Lorraine, whoa, that's way down here. Wow.
40. I don't know if you, oh, you do have 40 colored already.
Just got it.
100.
Raul gave me a 1 down here.
120. I don't think we have 120 on there, do we?
I don't, but it would be.
92. Good one.
94.
Let's try and fill in this box that you can see right now, okay? So I love the big numbers, and they are correct. Try and tell me the ones I'm missing on this box. I want to get all the ones that we can see. I see some left in here that we don't want to leave white. Thank you for 24. Thank you for 50.
34,
6.
6 is here, but we've
30.
already colored.
34,
34. 18.
28,
Thank you.
38,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Juan, thank you for 26.
36,
Carlos, 98 is an even number. But right now we're going to try and fill this part of the chart, okay? We want to try and fill this little part. But 98 is.
36,
I want to talk about.
So we have
relative, I'll come back
16.
to it. Yep, 16 I missed.
and 36.
There's 1 left. Okay, so we've got all the ones just in this little part. We didn't get the ones on the whole chart. There's a lot more down there. And you guys are right, there's more down there. Thank you, Emma-Lise, for helping us get 36 too. So now we've got all the even numbers on here. What do you notice? What do you notice now that we colored all the even numbers? Somebody raised their hand for Ms. Aponte. What do you notice? What does the chart look like after we colored all the evens?
Gabby?
It looks like the odd numbers are 3, 1, 5, 7, 9.
Okay, so those are the what numbers?
The odd numbers.
Those are the odd numbers. Okay, any other ideas?
Nadine?
It's a row of white and blue.
It does look like rows. Okay, so are they rows or are they columns? Who remembers?
Columns.
They're columns. Are they all right next to each other? Are all the blue columns next to each other? Are all the white columns next to each other? What else, Nadine, do you notice about it?
They're all mixed up in a pattern. They're in between.
It's like in between. We have a whole column of odd numbers, a whole column of even numbers, a whole column of odd numbers, a whole column of even numbers. Why is that happening? What do you guys think? What else do you think just looking at this?
So Juliana said Juliana said, what I noticed is that the ones that are blue are even and the white ones are odd.
Interesting. So the white numbers are all odd numbers. Oh, hi, Ralphie. Thanks for joining. Glad to see you. And the blue numbers are all even. Very cool. So that's true. And like our friend, I forget who was just telling me, maybe was it Gabby that said 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are odd. So I'm gonna unshare this. I'm gonna stop sharing. So Gabby's right. If a number ends with the digit 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, it's an odd number. But only if that digit is in the ones place. So I got a couple of answers in the chat box that I want to talk about. So somebody wrote this answer in the chat box. What do you think about that? Is it even or odd, and how do you know? I want somebody to answer maybe who hasn't answered yet. And maybe Miss Aponte, we could call on somebody even if their hand isn't up, because I know my friends can help me get an answer here.
Okay, so I want, Dominic, do you want to share?
Dominic, I would love your help. What do you think, buddy? You can unmute yourself. Do you think it's even or odd? You can take a guess if you're not sure, or use some of the information we were just talking about.
Odd.
Why do you think it's odd? What number should we be looking at if we're trying to decide if it's even or odd?
5.
We should be looking at the 5 in the ones place. And what did we just say about even and odd numbers? Even numbers end with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8.
That ends with a 5.
And this one ends with a 5. So this one is an odd number. This one's an odd number. We know because it ends with an odd number. It ends with either 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Great. All right. I also got this number in the chat box. Somebody was telling me it was an even number. What do you guys think? Is it even?
Ralphie, I'm gonna try to.
I think it's an odd number
You think it's odd? Why?
because well, I know it's kind of even. Well, I know it's kind of it's not even because 90 has more ones than 9. So
So,
it's not
Ralphie,
even fair.
let me stop you just for a second. When we're looking to decide if it's an even or an odd number, we want to look in the ones place. So what number are we looking at?
We're looking at 9.
We're looking at this 9 here, the second 9. Then we can just decide, is this number even or odd? Is 9 even or odd? 1, 2, 3,
Odd.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to try and split them up into 2s. I got 2, 2, 2, 2. What happened? I made partners of 2, partners of 2, partners of 2. What happened at the end? Nadine, what happened at the end here after I made all those partners of 2?
It made 8, and you're supposed to have one more to actually make it 9. So that's why 9 is an odd
Yeah, I
number.
made these groups of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, and I have 1 left over. So if I have a leftover, is my number even or odd? Odd. All right, I'm going to stop for just a second because I want to make sure my friends are doing their very best. So can I please make sure everybody's sitting up and that their eyes are on the screen, okay? So please make sure your eyes are here and that we're not waving anything in front of the computer. I also want to remind you the chat box is for math. I see Ms. Aponte is reminding people too. The chat box is only for math right now. We can do some fun chatting right at the end, okay? All right. So here's what everybody's gonna do. Get your paper, get your pencil. We're all gonna draw something. I want everyone to draw a group of 8 objects. You could draw 8 circles, 8 hearts, just something that you can draw quick. And then we're going to try and decide if this number 8 is even or odd, and we're going to prove it. So everybody should be writing right now, okay? Jaquan, do you have something to write with, buddy? Yeah, okay. Malik, did you get your 8 shapes? Are you doing them now? Okay, great. Thanks, Lorenis, for showing me what you got. 8 objects. When you're done, you can give a thumbs up. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Miss Aponte. Thanks, Gabby. Ooh, Lorenis put up emoji thumbs up. Cool. All right, now we're gonna try and prove. I'm gonna try and prove that this number is even or odd. Like Amanda said, actually I think it was Gabby. Like Gabby said earlier, we're gonna try and make pairs of 2. So I'm gonna try and pair them up with friends. 2, 2, 2, 2. So go ahead, you can make a pair. They're gonna just get a friend. All right, what do you notice after you made groups of 2? Are there leftovers or no leftovers? And is this gonna be an even number or an odd number? So I want you to type in the chat, even or odd. And then I want someone to tell me with their voice if they see leftovers or no leftovers after they did the pairs.
No leftovers.
Thank you.
Ralphie, is there any leftovers, son?
No leftovers.
So if there's no leftovers, I see Ralphie saying he thinks it's even. Juliana thinks it's even. Go ahead, everybody go to the chat box. So Malik, go in the chat box. Carlos, go to the chat box. And I want you to type if this number is even or odd. Amanda, you too, go in the chat box. Lorenis thinks it's even. Jonna thinks it's even. Okay, I see a lot now saying even. I agree that it's even, and we can prove that it's even by making groups of 2 and saying there are no leftovers. Let's do another one. Get your pencils ready. This time you're going to draw 11 of something. Draw 11. And then how are we going to prove if this is even or odd? What are we going to do? How are we going to prove it? Before you tell me if it's even or odd, what are we going to do to prove? Donna, what are we going to do? We just did it with the other one. What kind of groups can we make to prove if it's even or odd? How many should I circle? Even numbers can be broken up into groups of how many? I see Jolion's showing me a number. Show me your number. How many in each group? If it's an even number, each group should be able to have 2. So that's what I'm going to try and do. 2, 2, 2.
Nope. Nope.
What do you notice about the number 11? I want you to type in the chat box. Is 11 even or odd?
I see that Carlos wrote odd, Lorenis and Raul wrote odd.
Ralphie, thanks for writing dos, for letting me know how many go in each group. Juliana, thank you for your full answer. She says that we're going to prove it by showing if there's leftovers or no leftovers after we make groups of 2. Okay? Lorenis, did you type in the chat box for me, even or odd? Yep, you already did. Thank you.
She did.
So 11 has a leftover. So it is odd. Nice job. Let's do another one. We're gonna draw 15. Get busy. Count all the way up to 15 of whatever you're drawing. Just make sure you can draw it pretty quick. Draw 15 of them. And then you can start trying to prove without me. You don't need to wait for me. You can start trying to prove, is this even or odd? Type your answer in the chat box when you get it. And then if we like your answer, we might call on you and say, how did you know? Because remember, it's not enough to just say even or just say odd. You have to prove it by showing or telling. And Jolian's got a picture that, and that picture would prove it. Ooh, look at her pointing to that little. Julianne, I think I'd love for you to share. Would you like to unmute and share what you think?
It's odd
And why?
because there's a leftover.
There's a leftover. Yeah, you can eat it for lunch tomorrow. It's leftover, right? Great job, Julie. I'm super proud. And you guys know Miss Aponte keeps track of attendance on these, so you all get a point for being here. So pat yourself on the back. And then she also gives extra points too for friends who are focused, participating. So love it. I've got some really, really focused friends, some friends doing a lot in the chat, raising their hand a lot. Julianne, awesome, really proud. So this is odd because after we did all of our pairs, all the groups of 2, Julianne pointed with her finger. There's a leftover. Left over. So that makes it odd. Great job, guys. We did an awesome job trying to prove if a number was even or odd.
Yep.
Okay, so there's also a trick that we learned when we're looking at even numbers. What does an even number need to end with? What number needs to be at the end of the even number to make sure that it makes it? You can type in the chat box. What number needs to be in the ones place? So in the ones place,
Let's see.
what numbers can be in the ones place for even numbers? Go ahead and type it in the chat box.
2. 2. Yeah. No.
2.
Yeah.
If it ends with a 2 in the ones place, it's an even number. You can type in the chat, or you can say it out loud and unmute yourself. Just
4.
say the number. I heard 4. Yeah. Dominic said 6. Thank you. A couple more. Nadine is showing me 8. Thank you. And there's one more. It can end in a 2, 4, a 6, and 8. It doesn't have to be 10. What's the last digit in a 10? 0. So if it ends, if one of these numbers is in the ones place, it's even. All right, so now how do we know if it's odd? What numbers does it have to end with in the ones place? 1.
9. 3.
Yep, I heard 1, 9, and 3.
3. 5.
Thank you, Emelise. Not 8, Ralphie. 8 is one of the even numbers. 8 can be split up into 4 and 4.
5.
5, yep, 5, and there's one more. Yes, Emily, 7. So all of those numbers, if that number's in the ones place, it's an odd number. So now, guys, we're gonna do something cool. I'm gonna write you a really huge number, and you have to tell me if it's even or odd.
Oh no.
Use these hints to help you. It's really not that hard to tell, because all you have to look at, you don't have to look at the whole huge number. All you have to look at is the number in which place.
Yeah.
Hundreds, tens, ones, which number are we looking at?
I know what you're talking about.
All right, here's my huge number. Type in the chat, even or odd. You only have to look at one of these digits. You don't even actually have to look at all the digits to decide.
Odd.
You
Even.
only have to look at the number in the ones place.
Even.
Type even or odd. Type it.
Even.
Type it.
Even. Odd. Even.
I hear some even and I hear some odd. So now I don't know. The only number you care about is the number in the ones place. Is the number 6 on our even list or our odd list?
Even.
It's on our even list. The number 6 can get split up into groups of 3 and 3. So the number 6 is even. So if the digit in the ones place is even, guess what? The whole number is
It's
even.
even.
I'm giving you another huge one. Get ready.
Yay.
And I want you to type in the chat box, please. This one's even bigger. Even or odd, type in the chat box.
Odd.
Type in the box. I have some friends that are really excited and I like that they're sharing too. If your chat doesn't work, you can say it on the microphone. Got a lot of people that agree. Odd. Why is it odd? Which digit told you that it was odd? Malik, how did you know this was odd? Which digit did you look at?
1.
I looked at the last one.
He just looked at the last number. Keep going, Malik.
I looked at the last number because the even numbers where you write what's in there, and none of those numbers are even.
Exactly. The number 1 is not anywhere here in these even numbers. It's not 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. It's an odd number. The number 1 we can't split up into 2 equal groups. All right, I'm giving you 2 more. Get ready. Even or odd, type in the chat box.
Odd.
Odd. Odd.
Which digit are you looking at? Which digit do we need to look at?
0.
Jolian, we need to look at the 0. Now look at my chart. Is 0 one of the even digits or one of the odd digits?
Even.
It is one of the even digits. So we should definitely, this is an even number. Even though 5 is odd, we don't care what's at the beginning. We only care what's in the one place. All right, last one. Even or odd? Type in the chat. Go ahead and type in the chat for me, friends. Which digit are you looking at? Emelise, can you turn your mic off and tell me? Or go ahead, I turned it on. What digit are we looking at, Emelise?
3.
I'm looking at the 3. Even or odd?
Odd.
Odd. Thumbs up if you agree with Emelise that it's an odd number. I agree with her too. All we had to look is the 3. Guess what? 6 is an even number. 8's an even number. 2 is an even number. But none of that matters. It only matters what's in the ones place. Great job, friends. So that's an easy trick to figure it out. All right, guys, we're going to start with our second learning target today. And then we'll get to say bye to our friends. All right, I'm going to erase. We're moving on. I want you to look for the action word. Get ready to type it in the chat box. I can use addition to find a total number of objects in an array. What is the action word? What are we doing? I can use addition to find a total number of objects in an array. Yo puedo sumar para encontrar el número total de objetos en una matriz.
Sumar.
So in the Spanish one, it says sumar. I can add. And Juliana says use. Yep, this one says use addition. And she also said find. So that means there's one more in the Spanish version too. Sumar para encontrar el número total. Not the word array. The word array is the group of objects.
Encontrar.
Encontrar. That's to find. We can add to find. Use addition to find the total number of objects in an array. So friends, if you remember from last week, if you were in our live lesson, an array is like an organized group of objects. So can everybody draw this array on their paper, please? You're gonna draw 4 triangles in this row, 4 in this row, 4 in this row. So you're gonna draw 3 rows of 4, 4, 4, 4. You don't have to draw triangles, you can do circles. Emily, I'm so glad you saw the video on arrays. Then I bet you can help us figure this out. Friends, I know you're being funny typing in the chat box with all the extra letters, but then it makes it hard for me and Ms. Aponte to scroll up and find the answers, okay? So not so many extra letters, please. Thank you, Julianne. She's ready with her triangle array. Who else has their array? Lorraine, thank you for your array. Carlos got a thumbs up. Wow, Gabby, that's a really neat array. Make sure your array is organized because that's what an array is. It's not just a messy group of stuff hanging out. Nope. It's an organized array so that there's 3 rows here and 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'd like you to try and write an addition sentence because that's what we're trying to do. Find an addition to find the total number. We could just count them all. We could just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could count them. But if this array was bigger than that, it would be not a very fast way to do it. So who can write me an addition sentence that would get us the total number? You can write it on your paper first and then type it in the chat box when you're ready. An addition sentence that matches our array and would help us find the total number. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes. All right, now go to the chat box. We're gonna type the addition sentence.
Miss Santa.
Yep.
I can't use the chat box because I'm using my mom's phone right now and I can't do it in the computer.
Jolianne, no problem. Do you want to tell us? Do you have an idea? Or you can write it on your paper and hold it to the screen. There's your beautiful array. Now let's try and write an addition sentence that matches it, okay? Oh, there's your sentence. Woohoo, look at that. So I see a lot of people saying 4 plus 4 plus 4. And I'm really proud of that because we've got 4 in this row, 4 in the second row, 4 in the third row. 4 3 times makes 12. There's one more sentence we could write that would also be correct. So no more of the 4s. That one's perfect. But there's one more sentence we could use. The trick about arrays is that there's always only 2 important numbers. How many rows and how many columns. So we already did it by row. Now let's do it by column. Juliana, 8 plus 4, yes, but 8 plus 4 doesn't describe this array, okay? We want to either count the rows or count the columns. I don't have 8 anywhere. I have 4 and I have 3. So
Gabby
yeah.
wrote 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3
Yeah.
equals 12.
Gabby, why'd you do that? Why'd you say that?
Because I saw the 3 rows and it was for 3 rows.
Okay, so she's counting not rows, Gabby. You're counting.
I was counting the column.
Gabby's counting columns. So Gabby counted 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Yes, ma'am. Nice
And
job.
I put
Nice job. All right, let's do one more together and then I'm going to share my screen because I have some cool pictures to show you of different arrays. And then I'm going to give you a challenge that you can do later. And if you send the picture to Ms. Aponte of this challenge, then you'll get an extra dojo point too. Okay, so this time we're going to draw an array. I'm going to draw stars, but you can draw whatever you want. I'm drawing 5 and 5. I just did stars because I can draw those fast, but if they take you a longer time, pick something else. When you've drawn your array, you can hold it up so we can see it. We'd love to see it. Beautiful, Jolian. Anybody else got an array they want to show? You proud of how nice and neat you got your columns or your rows? I'd love to see them. Lorenis, do you have another piece of paper you could get or go on the back? Ooh, and you've already written, who was that? Gabriella's already written 2 different sentences. So there are usually 2 sentences that you could write that would help us find the total. So there should be 2 sentences. The 2 numbers we can use. What are the 2 numbers we can use? There's only 2 numbers. What are they? You can show me with your fingers. Love it, Jolianne. Jolianne is showing me with her fingers and she got both of them. What are the 2 numbers we can use in the addition sentence here? We can use the number of rows or the number of columns. How many rows are there? Thank you, Nadine was showing me 2, Jolianne showed me 2. There's 2 rows, so we could use the number 2. How many columns are there? Columns go up and down. How many columns? Nadine, now we're on columns. Raul showed me, thank you, Raul. Jaquan, can you show me how many columns? Thank you, Ralphie. How many? Show me with your finger. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now there's 2 addition sentences that could help us find the total, right? Write an addition sentence in the chat, please. I want to see an addition sentence from everybody. If you don't have the chat, then you can hold it up to the screen. And I already think I saw, Julianne, if you have yours, can you hold it up? Gabby wrote 2 addition sentences. Let's see who else has one. Lolo, go to the chat and write me your addition sentence or hold it up to the screen, okay? Lorraine's. Either hold it up or type it in the chat. Give everybody a minute. Malik, can you put yours a little closer to the camera? It's hard to see it. It's far away. Closer, closer. All the way up next to the camera.
So Jaquan, 10 minus 5 does
right,
equal 5, but we're going to use the array, okay?
Thank you,
An
Gabby.
addition sentence.
Thank you, Jolianne. Jolianne, how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, thank you. All right, so there's only 2 different sentences that work. If we're going to use the number 2, how many times do we have to write the number 2? How many times do I need to add it? Juliana's telling me 5. Juliana and Nadine are telling me 5. I have to write it 5 times because there's 5 groups too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to write it 5 times. If I write the number 5, how many times do I need to write it? Thank you, Gabby. She's showing me with her fingers. You can show me with your fingers. It's a small number. How many times do I need to write the number 5? How many groups of 5 are there? Look, Carlos, there's 1 group of 5. There's another group of 5. How many groups? Just 2. There's only 2 groups of 5.
2 groups.
So these are the only 2 number sentences that match this array. Okay, they're the only 2, but they both give us the same total, which the total is? What's the total? The total, all of them.
10.
Yeah, it's 10. All right, friends, now what I'm going to do is share my screen, and I'm going to show you some cool arrays, and we're going to type in the chat what you think the addition sentences are. If you don't have the chat on the device you're using, you can just take a picture or write it on your paper. Sorry, write it on your paper and share it with us. Okay, I'm going to show you my slideshow. I'm going to make it big. Ms. Aponte, can you see that?
I can see that.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay.
Me
So
too.
can you guys take a look There's 6 stars in each row,
Yeah.
5 rows. Can you write me a number sentence, please? That
Okay.
helps us find the total, because I don't want to count all those stars. I'm feeling a little lazy.
Yeah.
Do not want to count them all.
5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5.
Fonte, will you help me too with the chat, because I can't see it when I'm sharing this.
Oh yeah, they never wrote anything yet.
Okay, when you're ready, guys, either hold it up to the camera or type it in the chat. There's only 2 different numbers we could be writing. And this problem actually helps you because it already tells you the 2 numbers. You just have to decide how many times to write it. I was hearing Jolianne, I was hearing her count them to make sure she wrote it the right number of times. Love that. All right, anybody got an answer for me? Oh wait, maybe I can see the chat. Looks like it's popping up now. Some people are trying to tell me 5 times 30. Carlos, you have the total, and the total is 30. That's a great job, Carlos. Now I want you to go back and try and write me a sentence, an addition sentence, to tell me how we got to 30. Lorraine showed 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Because there are 5 rows of 6. Nice job. 5 rows of 6. So we could write 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, or there's one other sentence we could write. What's the other sentence? Who can put the other sentence in the chat or hold up your picture of it? Jaquan, the number 10 actually does not appear here in this array. The only 2 numbers we have are 6 and 5. So I want you to write the addition sentence with the number 6 or the number 5. Looks like Gabby has an idea. Juliana and Carlos have ideas. They did 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. 6 times. Because if you look, there are 6 columns of 5. All right. So I wanted to tell you guys, let's do one more. Oops, so here's the 2 answers at the bottom of my screen. Can everybody see them? Thumbs up if you can see the 2 answers. You either had to write the number 5 6 times, because there's 6 groups of 5, or you had to write the number 6 5 times, because there's 5 groups of 6. All right, I'm gonna try another one. All right, go ahead. Here's the other one. 8 stars in each row, 2 rows. So there's 8 columns, 2 rows. Go ahead and write me an addition sentence that would help us find the total. Jaquan, can you try this one with 8? The number 8 or the number 2, okay? There's other ways to break apart this array, but we just want to use the number of columns and the number of rows. It makes it much faster for us to find out how many. Ralphie said 8 plus 8. There's only 2 rows of 8. 1, 2 rows of 8. 8 and 8. Great. 8 and 8 does work. All right, Emily, so we've already done 8 plus 8, Emily, so you're right. Now let's look at the 2s. How many groups of 2 are there? Count all the groups of 2. And you're gonna have to add it that many times. 2,
7, 8.
so that's how many times you have to write the number 2.
3, 4, 5.
16.
I really like seeing how there's some friends who got their fingers near the screen, because that's helping them count how
1,
many groups
2,
of 2 there
3,
are.
4, 5, 6, 7.
How many groups of 2 are there? That's how many times you're going to write the number 2. I should see some friends in the chat. I don't want the answer. I just want the number sentence. Lorraine's, yep, 8 plus 8. Now I want a sentence with the number 2.
Good job, Dominic. Good job, Amanda.
So Dominic, why did you write the number 2 8 times? Can you explain to us? How did you know to do that?
Because there's one on the top and one on the bottom. I counted them both. Counting
Yep.
as two. So there's 8 twos.
So there's 8 groups of 2. Great. So he had to write 2 8 times. 8 times, Emily's, okay? 8 times. All right. So I'm going to click and it'll show you the answers. Oops. There's the answers, which a lot of you got 8 plus 8. Or you had to write 2 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo. Either way, though, it gets us the same answer. So I wanted to tell you guys, this is going to be part of the challenge. There are arrays in the world because they help us organize things. So I'm going to show you some pictures of real world arrays. If you can find a real array in your house or in your backyard, or if you can make an array out of something and you take a picture and send it to Miss Aponte, we're going to give you extra dojo points this week. So for example, I'm going to flip through a couple pictures real quick. So everybody's eyes on my screen. I'm going to show you some examples of arrays in the real world. Got somebody I got to put on mute. I hear some beautiful singing, but I got to mute you. Okay. Pool noodles arranged in arrays. What's this? Juliana, can you tell? What is it?
They're basket holes from like.
Yeah, they're just basket holes, but look at how they're arranged. They are organized into rows and columns. That's an array. Okay? What do we got here? What do you see, Joannis? ¿Qué tú ves, Joannis? What's making this array?
I see eggs.
Eggs, yep. The eggs are arranged into rows and columns. Great. Jaquan, what do you see? Go ahead, Jaquan. Do you know what that is? Can somebody help Jaquan? Somebody maybe that helps their mom in the kitchen. They know what this is.
Emily, do you want to help? You wrote it. You gonna say it out loud?
Yeah, I hear. I see Carlos typed it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
They're like the little holes in a cupcake pan, right? There's a cupcake pan. Look, it's arranged into rows and columns. Let me show you another one. And what's this one? Ralphie? What do you see, Ralphie? A block, a Lego block, and it has
a Lego.
It has an array on the top. So I'm going to go back, and I want you guys to write me an addition sentence for the array on the laundry basket. Go ahead and type it in the chat box or write it on your paper and hold up the picture.
Hay que hacer eso porque mañana es la cita, como quiera hay que ir a sacar eso.
Make sure your microphone's on mute right now if we're not talking, okay? Go ahead and either type your answer in the chat box or write it on your paper and hold it up to the camera. You're gonna count how many rows and how many columns and write us an addition sentence. And then we're almost finished here today. We started at about 11:10, so we're gonna finish about 12:10. All right, looking for some answer. Carlos said there's 4 rows. That's true. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And how many in each row? That's what we need to figure out to help us write the sentence. We need to know both numbers, the number of rows and the number of columns. I see some people writing 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. So how many times should we have the number 4 written? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. How many times? Yep, the two numbers are 4 and 5. Thank you, Emily. So our two numbers are 4 and 5. So we need to write the number 4. Emily and Raul, I want you to look again. We don't want to write the number 4 times. There are more groups of 4 than that. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Juliana. I love your answers in the chat. Juliana, if you can hold yours up. Ralph, you remember what I asked? Please don't type so many of the same number because then it's hard for me to tell what your real answer is. And I just have to scroll up really far to find everybody else's. But I do like your answer. I think it says 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 20. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're either writing the number 5 4 times or you're writing the number 4 5 times. So now you can look at the picture. I put the answers at the bottom. See if yours match. Nadine, love how hard you're working. Amanda, can you put your legs down, my friend, so we can see you? Thank you. Oops, Amanda, now your foot's in front of the camera. There we go. All right, so yep, these are our two answers. Either you wrote 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 4 times, or you wrote 4 5 times. All right, let's do one more. Wow, Gabby, working really hard over there. I'm gonna skip the egg one, and I'm gonna go to the muffin tin one. Go ahead, look at the muffin tin, count the rows, count the columns, and write an addition sentence. Can't wait to see what you guys got. This time there's only 3 rows. Yep. And now how many columns, Carlos? 3 rows. Rows go side to side. How many columns? 4 columns. So we know that our numbers are 3 and 4. Okay. Those are the only numbers we can use to write the addition sentences. So how many groups of 3 are there? I see 3, 3, 3, 3. If I look up and down, 3, 3, 3, 3. Or if I'm looking like Raul and I look at the rows sideways, I see 4, 4, 4. So go ahead and write me your sentence. Yes, Carlos. Yep. You can go ahead to the chat now. I'm really proud of a lot of the friends' work here. Ralphie, thanks. I see you added your answer later. You did 4 plus 4 plus 4. Who can tell me how they did this? Can I have somebody share with me how they did it? Jana, can you unmute yourself?
Sorry guys. So they put it. I separated.
Hang on a second. I called on Jana, but I hear a couple voices. Hang on a second. I'm going to make sure everybody else is muted. All right, go ahead, Jana.
So we're not side. So we see side to side. We're all 4 buildings.
John, I'm sort of having trouble hearing you.
We look up and down the column, do it, see.
Donna, I think something's going on with your Skype because your face is frozen and I can sort of only hear your voice, but I heard you say you can look up and down or side to side, which is awesome. That's true.
Yep.
My friend Jonna, I'm going to mute you because I don't hear you very well, but I'll try it again in a minute, okay? Does somebody want to explain to us how they knew how to write their addition sentence? Somebody want to raise their hand and I'll call you? How did you know how to write your addition sentence? Go ahead, Nadine.
So I looked at the
cupcake tin and I saw 4 rows, 4 columns, and I added the 4 columns together and it made 12, and on the rows there were 4 rows.
Hang on, 3 rows.
3 rows, and I wrote 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. 12 because it's the same as the columns.
Nadine, I'm really proud. So thanks for describing that. It's sort of tricky to describe. There are 3 rows, like she said, and there are 4 columns. But I'm going to write the number 4 just 3 times, right? Because there was 4, 4, 4. So I'm going to switch so you can see the 2 answers like Nadine was saying. Nadine, do these match your answers?
Yes.
Awesome. Nice job. All right, my friends, I'm really proud of you and your hard work today. I'm going to let everybody unmute yourself. I'll stop sharing. We did a lot today. We proved that numbers were even and odd, and we added to find totals in an array. So I'm really proud of how hard we worked. I want to tell friends, actually, let me just tell you real quick before we all unmute. Hang on. Yeah. I'm going to mute you first for a second. Miss Aponte and Miss Vargas are going to start doing a call like this on Tuesdays for anybody that needs extra help. So if today after the math lesson you're like, oh, I'm still confused about even and odd numbers, then you can ask your mom to join Miss Aponte for a meeting next week, and she can help you guys with some practice there, okay? So if you're still confused about something, let your mom know, let your dad or grandma or grandpa know, and they can help you come on next Tuesday. Jonna, what do you need?
I'm going to show you something that I started working on yesterday and I finished it today.
All right, show it to the screen. And I'm going to unmute everybody.
Okay.
Put a little closer, Jonna.
Miss Anna.
Who's that?
I can't see it very.
Miss Anna.
I love it. Hi. Hi, who's calling me?